back.
Is it better? Can you see and hear us okay?
Wait, you can or cannot see?
Can.
Okay,
Okay.
good.
Okay, good.
Sorry. It looks okay now.
Good.
The Colts are back in action tonight, taking on the Jaguars this morning on Weekend Sunrise. We will preview the matchup with Jason Spells and Bob Kravitz in Jacksonville. Plus, a new way for Hoosiers to get help with unemployment. Only on 13 this morning, the resources that will now be available 7 days a week.
And a cold front brought some stormy conditions Saturday night. We're starting to see all of this moving on out of here this morning. I'll have the details on your Sunday forecast.
From Indiana's news leader, Eyewitness News Weekend Sunrise starts now.
Good morning to you. Welcome to Weekend Sunrise at 6 o'clock on your Sunday morning. Naomi Pescovitz here with Kelly Green. You likely heard or felt some of the raindrops pretty much anywhere you were last night.
Yes, most areas in central Indiana did receive some scattered showers. The main bulk of it was actually in our northern viewing area. Really not any severe weather. We did have the threat of that, but didn't really pan out. So that's some good news. But we are still seeing a few spotty showers on live Doppler 13 radar this morning. These will really begin to move on out of here as this cold front is still to our northwest. Will bring in some changes. Now, as far as rainfall goes, this is since midnight last night. Rossville had over an inch of rain, 8,200ths of an inch in Sharpsville, Connorsville, 2,800ths of an inch, and 2,200ths of an inch in Fairland. Now, we are starting off with cloudy skies this morning. It's still pretty mild at 69 degrees. Winds are still out of the west-southwest, and it is a breezy start at 15 miles per hour. But notice what we're looking for are these changes. We have a cold front still off to our northwest. Temperatures already falling to 59 degrees in Chicago. That cooler air will continue to filter in as we head into the later hours this morning. 68 degrees in Richmond at 67 in Marion, 67 in Lafayette, and 69 degrees in Bloomington. Today we will see a gradual clearing. So we're starting off with those overcast skies, but that northwesterly flow and that cold front moving off to the southeast today will allow mostly sunny skies by late afternoon. Temperatures will be climbing into the upper 60s and low 70s across central Indiana. We'll see a little bit of sunshine by 2 p.m., 69 degrees, 71 degrees this afternoon. Much cooler air in your forecast for overnight lows and the start of the work week. I'll have those details coming up in your full forecast. Naomi?
Kelly, thank you. Indiana's unemployment numbers are out for August, and while they're good signs of an economic turnaround, the struggle continues for thousands of Hoosiers. Only on 13, Sunrise reporter Matt McCutcheon joins us live with how the Department of Workforce Development is offering a new way to help those in need.
Naomi, good morning. It is estimated that right now in the state of Indiana, there are probably around 188,000 people who are unemployed in communities from Newcastle to Lafayette to Greenwood and Brownsburg. All of the communities across the state equal about 188,000 Hoosiers who are all looking for work. And as a result of that, Sunday is typically the day when federal benefits enrollment begin, as well as actually getting those insurance for unemployment benefits. And that's usually when a lot of people get stumped with a lot of the paperwork that has to be filled out. As a result of that, there is a new call center hours. This applies to people who are calling in with questions as well as web chats. This is new on Sundays in response to the Hoosiers who get stumped on those days. About a dozen workers will be on hand to answer questions from callers all across the state of Indiana. While Indiana's unemployment rate stands at 5.8%, that is actually down from the national average. However, the struggle continues for those who continue to look for work.
Yeah, it gets kind of despairing, at times. The longer it is, oftentimes it leads to hopelessness, so it will certainly make me feel happier and make me feel like I'm a contributor again, that I am part of this working system.
And that person we spoke with says she finds a little bit of comfort in knowing that there are some seasonal part-time jobs out there with the holidays coming up at retailers. However, it's all about finding that perfect long-term permanent job. Now back to this call center. The hours are 9 to 2:30 on Sundays, making the call center available 7 days a week. And the good news there is that will cut down on the wait times for people who do call in during the week. Again, this only applies to the online chat and the call center as the DWD continues to assess staffing needs. Reporting live, Matt McCutcheon, Channel 13 Eyewitness News.
Okay, Matt, thank you. Some very important resources there. Thanks. Hundreds gathered for funeral services this weekend for a murdered Indianapolis teenager. 15-year-old Dominique Allen was killed last month. Family and friends are praying for justice as police continue to search for her attacker. Investigators believe a stranger killed the Ben Davis freshman, then set her on fire. A headstone for Allen will be dedicated during a special service that will likely happen in October. The He Knows Your Name ministry is creating and paying for that headstone. The community where Allen was murdered also took time to remember her yesterday. Neighbors and church leaders held a peace walk in Havel. Dozens of people, many of them complete strangers, prayed for an end to the violence.
We just want to again just lift up Dominique Allen and her family again right here and let them know that this community supports them.
This has hit home with a lot of these people that's walking today. It's like it's real. All of a sudden, it's come to our doorstep.
The Havel community is also mourning 2 other murder victims killed there in the past month. Still, IMPD says crime is not on the rise in that area, and they continue to patrol around the clock. Tomorrow, Zionsville High School will honor a former student by retiring her soccer jersey number. Rachel Feach died while she was at Indiana University last year as a freshman. The 19-year-old fell down a flight of stairs at an off-campus party, but it wasn't until hours later that friends called police when they noticed she wasn't breathing. Tomorrow's EHS will honor her life and love of soccer by retiring her number 14 jersey. This is the first time the soccer program has ever retired a jersey. Well, the Colts have lost 2 close games. The Jaguars lost 2 blowouts. One of those 2 teams will start the NFL season 0-3. Jason Spells is in Jacksonville with WTHR.com's Bob Kravitz, where the teams meet tonight.
Good morning, Indianapolis. Game day is finally here in Jacksonville. The Colts getting ready to take on the Jacksonville Jaguars. WTHR columnist Bob Kravitz. Not getting the memo. It's early in the morning. I don't have my suit on yet, buddy. Why are you making me look
When
like?
I'm setting the sartorial standard at WTHR, we're all in big trouble.
Don't worry, I'll have the suit later today at 6
right.
and on the Sports
I'll hold
Chat.
you to that.
Let's get you ready for tonight's game, though. Colts, Jaguars, 2 0-2 teams.
Well, there's 0-2 and there's 0-2. I mean, the Jaguars are just bad. They are just awful. I don't know if they're as bad as the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and what we saw on Thursday, but I'm telling you, if the Colts don't win this game by at least 10 to 14 points, something is egregiously wrong with the Indianapolis Colts. They've got to get it done. They got to get it done big this afternoon.
Some of the things that jump out to me is the Colts defense. They've gone against Peyton. They've gone against up-tempo Philadelphia and Nick Foles. Jacksonville doesn't have any of that. They have to get to the quarterback tonight, just from a confidence standpoint, plus also a talent standpoint.
Well, as I wrote earlier this week, if you can't get to the Jacksonville quarterback, you're not going to mount a pass rush all year. I mean, they've got 6 rookies starting on offense. They've got an offensive line that's just decimated. So if they're going to do it any week, this is the week it's got to get done.
Well, Colts and Jags, it's so funny, step behind us right here. They've named their statue Touchdown, something we don't see too often here in Jacksonville. For Bob Kravitz.
Oh, it's a low blow.
For Bob Kravitz at Everbank Field, I'm Jason Spells. We'll see you coming up later tonight at 6 and on the Sports Channel.
Wear your suit.
Look at those buddies out there having a good time. All right, well, we hope the Colts can pull it off for sure. In the meantime, it's going to be a cooler day than yesterday.
Yes, we are going to see quite a bit of a change this morning from yesterday. We got up to 80 degrees yesterday. Quite a difference in temperatures today, a gradual clearing. I'll have the details.
And security breached at the White House. The new concerns surrounding the Secret Service after 2 close calls at the most protected home in the country. Plus, a tangible way to help seniors stay safe at home in Indiana. Coming up, how some easy improvements can go quite a long way. Welcome back. It's 6:11 on your Sunday morning, and for the second time this week, security at the White House has been tested. 2 breaches at what's supposed to be one of the most highly protected places in the world. Now, as NBC's Dan Sheneman explains, the Secret Service is stepping up patrols as it faces new scrutiny over its response.
It's the second arrest at the White House in 2 days. This time, the Secret Service says a man tried to drive his car into a barricaded entry at the complex. He was arrested when he refused to leave.
Everybody out right now. Go back.
It comes less than 24 hours after a man jumped the fence at the White House, ran the length of the north lawn, and entered the first family's residence before being apprehended.
It's absolutely awful that a person could penetrate the residence at the White House.
The first family was not at home. President Obama and his daughters leaving for Camp David minutes before the breach. A former Secret Service special agent says that may have been the reason the man was able to get that far onto the grounds.
That's where the majority of the resources were. They didn't have the chance to come back north, and hence we had this jumper get closer than usual.
Director Julia Pearson ordered enhanced officer patrols and surveillance along the north fence of the compound, and in a statement, the agency acknowledged the location of this individual's arrest at the White House is not acceptable to the Secret Service and will be closely reviewed.
We will need a complete investigation, explanation of what happened, but even more importantly, what steps they're going to take to make sure it doesn't happen again.
Despite the investigation, a White House spokesman said President Obama has full confidence in the Secret Service to protect him and his family every day, abroad or at home. Dan Sheneman, NBC News.
And now to the growing manhunt for one of the FBI's most wanted. The search for the gunman who ambushed and killed a Pennsylvania state trooper now extends to at least 6 states. The area under closest watch was under lockdown yesterday for a second night in a row. Law enforcement officers, all wearing bulletproof vests and armed with rifles, continued their hunt for 31-year-old Eric Freen. And more than 1,000 volunteers fanned out across Charlottesville, Virginia this weekend, hunting for any sign of a missing 18-year-old UVA student. She vanished mysteriously more than a week ago after sending a text to friends saying that she was lost. They searched dumpsters, vacant buildings, drains, any place where Hannah Graham's personal items could be found. Professional search and rescue organizations also performed more extensive searches of wooded areas. We hope they have some luck in that search as well. Today we'll start to feel a little bit more like fall.
Yes,
because we're almost there.
Yesterday actually climbed well above average with a high near 80 degrees. It really was a beautiful day. Today we are going to see some changes, but the main impact of the front that we had moved through actually hasn't even officially pushed all the way through, but the rain has moved everything to the far southeast at this point. It's still to our northwest, and that will continue to march off to the southeast, helping clear things out a bit, and the winds will start to change. Right now, they're still out of the west-southwest at 10 miles per hour. The air temperature at 69 degrees, and it is a pretty mild start all across central Indiana right now. Still 70 in Kokomo, 67 in Lafayette, 69 in Bloomington, 68 in Greensburg, 70 still in Muncie. Very mild for this time of year, but we are tracking a breezy and cooler day today. Tomorrow, officially the first day of fall. It does arrive around 10:29 tomorrow evening, so the first day of fall officially will be Tuesday, but dry and cool pattern will return, but we'll start to see things warming back up again as we head into the end of the work week. Yesterday we had breezy winds out of the southwest. Today they'll be out of the northwest, and that will allow that cooler air to move in. So we'll see sustained winds between 10 and 20 miles per hour. We may have a gust or two around 30 miles per hour today. So we'll see that northwesterly breeze allow drier air to move in. So gradually the clouds will clear on out. Temperatures today really not moving a whole lot. We'll fall a few degrees this morning to around 65 degrees during the 10 o'clock hour. And then as we head into the afternoon, only a high of 71 degrees, several degrees below average. With the gradual clearing of the sky, we will see some sunshine by late afternoon. 68 degrees in Noblesville, 68 for the high in Muncie, 70 for the high in Rushville, 72 the high in Nashville. So really not going to see much of a temperature change this afternoon. Now the Colts are in Jacksonville this afternoon, 1 o'clock kickoff. It is going to be a warm and muggy day there. Temperatures will be in the mid 80s. Heat indices will make it feel like it's in the upper 90s. Go Colts. Tonight temperatures will fall to 48 degrees, unseasonably cool. Winds will be out of the northwest, 5 to 15 miles per hour. Patchy fog will be possible. If the winds stay sustained, In that 10 to 15 mile per hour range, we likely won't see very much fog, but we'll put it in just in case, especially some of those low-lying areas. 48 degrees tomorrow's low, 67 for the high tomorrow. Mostly sunny, and it will be a nice afternoon. Here's a look at your 7-day forecast. High of 71 degrees, a few more spotty showers possible this morning. Temperatures tumble to 48 degrees Monday morning. High of only 67 Monday. Another cool start Tuesday morning with a low of 47. High of 72 on Tuesday, and then a warming trend returns again with temperatures coming back into the upper 70s. Naomi?
It's a serious concern for our older family members. Every year, 1 in 3 older adults falls, often causing serious injury or even death. So this weekend, volunteers worked to make several homes more livable. It was all part of Safe at Home Day.
I couldn't do this myself because I'm afraid of worms.
74-year-old Leona Bishop doesn't live in a new home, but she's getting a new level of safety.
Ready? I want to be able to stay in my home as long as I possibly can.
A senior living on the northeast side, Leona also helps care for her mother. But despite her independence, she's had a few falls.
I've fallen down my bedroom steps and fell up against the wall. Then I slipped in the bathtub and splashed water everywhere.
A fall is one of the greatest risks to independence for older adults, and we can do a lot of little things around our own homes and our loved ones' homes to help make sure that their homes are safer.
To prevent yet another fall for Leona, handrails are going in, starting in the bathroom.
In such a slippery environment, such as the tub or the shower, or stepping over an old-fashioned tub is an incredible fall risk for all people of all ages.
The crews don't just randomly decide where they'll put these handrails. Instead, they work with homeowners like Leona to figure out what will make the most sense.
That's the main task today is devices that work for her and how she grabs a hold of thing and how she moves around in her own house.
Leona's is one of 16 homes getting a life-saving fix-up from these volunteers, which could preserve their independence.
This has been a very nice experience, and I am very, very, very thankful.
Well, dozens of seniors also got free flu shots as a part of the event. If you missed it and you still want a flu shot, just go to our website, WTHR.com, to find more information there. Well, a dog that's been missing for 6 years will soon be reunited with her family. Coming up, one Texas woman's reaction after learning her dog was found safe right here in Indy. And getting your home ready for winter, the steps you should take right now that could save you money in the future. Welcome back. A good story here. This morning we are hearing from the Texas family whose missing dog was found right here in Indy. It has been 6 years since someone stole the 10-year-old Yorkie. Here she is, named Bailey, from their front yard in Austin. Despite efforts to find him, there was no sign of the lost pup until this week. A woman found Bailey and brought him to Post Road Vet, where they used the dog's microchip to track down the owner.
He just says, Grizel, hold on to your horses. And I said, just tell me, I'm shaking, and he just blurted it out. Bailey was found, and here I am. I just feel my body shaking, my response, and I just start crying. To the woman that's found Bailey, I'm very thankful that you found him and that you took him in and you did the right thing. Because of you, I have a chance now to be reunited with my dog that I've missed for so many years.
What are the chances that reunion will happen next week when the dog flies back to Texas? The family was told that Bailey had some fleas and a mouth infection, but money has been raised now to help pay for his medical care. The owner hopes their story will show others how important it is to microchip your pets. Well, no one claimed yesterday's top prize in the Powerball drawing, so now the jackpot climbs to an estimated $225 million. Not bad. That's $131 million if you decide to take the cash. The next drawing happens on Wednesday. Well, it may still feel like fall out there, but with winter right around the corner, now might be the best time to start winterizing your home. NBC's Mark Barger has some tips to save you money and headaches this upcoming winter.
While much of the country is still enjoying summer-like temperatures, some areas have already seen early season snow. Either way, now is the time of year to start winterizing your home.
With winter right around the corner, it's really time to start thinking about keeping the cold air out and the warm air in.
Angie Hicks of Angie's List says take advantage of early fall to do an exterior checkup of your home.
Check your roof, make sure you don't have any loose shingles and it's in good repair. And also don't neglect your gutters because you don't want to end up with ice dams because your gutters are full and ice is accumulating.
Experts also recommend recaulking or weather stripping all doors and windows, a move that could cut 10% from your average monthly heating bill. Lowering your thermostat 5 to 8 degrees during the day when you're not at home can also save as much as 10% a year. And get that furnace serviced now before the cold weather hits and companies get busy. But the biggest threat to your home this winter may not be the cold.
A homeowner's worst enemy is water. So the most important thing you need to know is where the main shutoff valve is for the water in your house, because if you have frozen pipes, you want to get to that quickly and get the problem shut off.
Problems you can avoid this winter by planning ahead now. Mark Barker, NBC News.
Well, new information about a deadly plane crash in Bloomington coming up. Police released the names of the 2 victims as the investigation into what went wrong continues.
Showers and thunderstorms moved across the area late last night. Still seeing a few lingering showers this morning. It will clear out. I'll have the timing on that and a warming trend in your SkyTrack 13 forecast.
A fallen hero's legacy. Now, Officer Rod Bradway is still making a positive difference in our community 1 year after his death in the line of duty. Plus, a teen is taken to the hospital after being hit on his moped. We'll tell you how he's doing this morning.
And we had some stormy conditions Saturday night. Now things are clearing back out. I'll have your Sunday forecast as well as high pressure building in, clearing out your work week.
From Indiana's news leader, Eyewitness News Weekend Sunrise starts now.
And good morning to you. Welcome to Weekend Sunrise at 6:30 on your Sunday morning. Naomi Pescovitz here with Kelly Green. We are closing out summer. It's almost done. It's almost behind us. But at least we had a really nice weekend.
We did. I mean, yesterday was a gorgeous day. Temperatures climbed to 80 degrees. The average high for today is 76. So it was a few degrees above average. We enjoyed a lot of sunshine. Of course, the front moved in, and that brought in some scattered thunderstorms last night. Now things are starting to quiet down quite a bit. Here's a live look at Live Doppler 13 radar, and also a look from our Connorsville camera. You can see the wet streets. It's also a bit breezy this morning. See the flags blowing here in the wind. A breezy start this morning, and it will be a breezy day. But the winds, unlike yesterday, they were out of the southwest. Today, they'll start to turn out of the northwest. Still out of the west-southwest, though, this morning at 10 miles per hour. Air temperature still very mild at 69 degrees. It is mild all across central Indiana, but we're watching out for this cold front that's still off to our northwest. You can see these cooler temperatures already starting to fall into the upper 50s in Chicago. That cooler air will move into our area a little bit later on this morning. So in the meantime, we're still pretty mild at 68 in Greensburg, 67 in Marion, 69 in Bloomington, and 67 in Lafayette. Temperatures will fall a few more degrees this morning before it's all said and done, and we will start to see a gradual clearing. That northwesterly flow will allow that cooler, drier air to move in. We'll see mostly sunny skies later this afternoon. Temperatures today not going to budge a whole lot. We'll see temperatures around 66 degrees during the 11 o'clock hour as we head into the later hours this afternoon. High only 71 degrees, decreasing clouds, and that breezy afternoon wind from 10 to 20 miles per hour. A warming trend, though, in your 7-day forecast. I'll have all those details coming up in just a few minutes. Naomi?
Kelly, thank you. This weekend marks 1 year since an IMPD officer answering a domestic violence call was gunned down in the line of duty. Here's Sunrise reporter Chris Kirschner with more on how the IMPD family is honoring Officer Rod Bradway.
Officer Rod Bradway served here out of the Northwest District. Those who work closely with him remember him and the events that night a year ago that claimed his life.
At the Heroes of Public Safety Memorial at Crown Hill Cemetery, the date is etched in stone.
It feels just like yesterday.
So is the memory of a tragic night that took the life of Officer Rod Bradway.
He gave of himself beyond what is normal.
It was a year ago, 2 in the morning, when IMPD got a call of a woman and her baby held hostage by her ex-boyfriend. A 5-year veteran, Officer Bradway, answered that call and lost his life.
The guy was just a great officer. He was affable, he was a people's person, and he was also a tender man.
A husband and father of 2. His wife, Jamie, who's rarely talked publicly about the ordeal, just months later allowed Eyewitness News to be there when she met with the woman whose life was spared because Officer Bradway was willing to risk his own. She talked of the last time she saw him.
The only difference that night was he gave me 2 kisses before he left.
What he left was a legacy. Bradway was one of 2 officers killed in the line of duty in the past year. Their death sparked a renewed effort in the city to end the violence.
What we're hearing and what we're seeing is a community rallying behind their public servants. And what we're hearing and what we're seeing is a community that is partnering with our public servants, and then recognizing the great sacrifice.
Recognizing the service and the sacrifice of those sworn to protect.
At a special recognition dinner last night, the public safety community remembering those who died in the line of duty. Officer Perry Wren, another of the IMPD officers who was gunned down and killed over the course of the past year. Now, IMPD has since then renewed their efforts to end and prevent violence in the city, the community joining forces with them, all hoping that this momentum will continue. Reporting from Northwest District, Chris Kirshner, Channel 13 Eyewitness News.
And today you can help honor the memory of fallen police officers by taking part in the 13th annual Beyond the Badge Run and Walk. This is video from last year's event. The event was founded by Jerry Barker in honor of his son and all public safety professionals. Opening ceremony started at 8:15 this morning at Crown Hill Cemetery. The walk and run begin at 9 o'clock. A family was displaced last night after lightning from storms caught their home on fire in Geist. It happened in the 13,000 block of Marjack Way near 104th and Oleo Road. Firefighters were called to the scene after lightning struck a tree that then started to smoke. But after that, when crews arrived, a house nearby also started filling with smoke. It took firefighters 20 minutes to put out a small fire that they found between the basement and between the first floor. A teenager went to the hospital last night after getting hit by a car while riding a moped. It happened on the east side around 9:30 on North Hamilton Avenue. Police say the teen swerved while trying to avoid the car. He then hit a curb and bounced in front of the car. The teen was taken to the hospital with a possible broken leg. Police are now investigating whether the drivers were drinking before that crash. The Monroe County coroner has identified the two people killed in Thursday's plane crash in Bloomington. The victims were 51-year-old Russer Kotlarek of Wisconsin and 72-year-old Thomas Saccio of North Carolina. Both men were pilots. The preliminary cause of death is trauma from that crash. The single-engine plane went down across from the Monroe County Airport. The men were attempting an emergency landing when the plane lost altitude, hit some trees, and then burst into flames. Investigators say a life jacket saved the life of a Columbus teenager. The 15-year-old survived a boating accident that left her unconscious. Conservation officers say Kiara Williams was thrown off her uncle's boat after running into a wave on Hardy Lake. The girl's grandmother was behind them on another boat and couldn't avoid hitting her. Medics flew the teen to the hospital where she's getting treated now for head trauma. A reported attempted abduction of a Lafayette boy was all a hoax. Police say an extensive investigation revealed the crime never happened. The child told officers a stranger tried to take him Thursday during a choir rehearsal at a home in Lafayette. Police say had this been an actual abduction, they would have used all of their resources to bring that boy home safe. State police are investigating the death of an inmate just 12 hours after her arrest. Corrections officers found 56-year-old Teresa Hardwick unresponsive Friday at the Cass County Jail. Staff performed CPR until medics arrived, but doctors pronounced her dead at the hospital. An autopsy will now determine how she died. And if you feel a little chill in the air this morning, it's because that's what we're facing now, guys. Summers are kind of behind us.
It's actually pretty mild right now, but we're really not going to see the temperatures moving much at all today, and we are still pretty dry right now at this point as the cold front continues to march across central Indiana. I'll have the details on that coming up in your SkyTrack 13 forecast.
And still ahead, high-tech accessories that keep you connected.
This is the notification bracelet, so you can set it that certain contacts, it'll vibrate a little bit when it's on your wrist if certain people are calling, so you know if it's your mom or your husband or the babysitter.
Designer too, that's just one of the gadgets that's taking technology to a new level. See what else is out there next. Welcome back. Here's a look at what's trending today. So we've all seen these dog shaming photos, picturing pets being punished for doing things that aren't right exactly. Well, now there's a new trend. It's called passenger shaming. Kind of same idea here. It draws attention to rude airline passengers who treat airplanes as their own personal lounging area. So here are some people. I've done a few, not that. But I have put my head down on the table before. Yeah, just maybe leave the shoes on, especially if you're not wearing socks. So people post these on Facebook and Instagram. Passengers, as you can see, putting their feet just about everywhere, sitting on the plane with their shirts off. That's kind of weird. Clipping their toenails. Gross. All kinds of other stuff. Photos here submitted anonymously by flyers and flight attendants. What possesses someone to take off their shirt on the plane? That doesn't even look comfortable.
No.
But on those
especially
long flights,
with shoes and socks.
Exactly, that's just gross. Or clipping your toenails.
Yeah,
I don't know.
That's
or
gross.
You know what else I can't stand is when people bring like something really stinky on the plane, like a
Mhm.
food item.
Yeah.
And it's like, come on, we're all stuck in this one little spot.
Exactly.
Anyway, you could get posted if you do it.
Well, also trending today, people are lined up out the door for free marijuana giveaway in Denver this weekend. The event was held by Operation Grow for Vets. Organizers say veterans were given free admission to the event and received more than $200 in free cannabis products. One veteran suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder says he wanted to know how effective the products would be. The event was also open to anyone 21 and older who made a $20 donation to support the Grow for Vets mission.
Hey, it's legal there. Why not, I guess, right?
so.
If they want to do it, it's legal. Well, good for them. Okay. Many are, of course, anxious to get their hands on the latest Apple product, but one former NBA star now trying to cash in illegally. 46-year-old Rex Chapman was taken into custody Friday afternoon for allegedly shoplifting, get this, $14,000 worth of merchandise from an Apple store. So then he steals it and then he sells it at a pawn shop, allegedly. Police say Chapman kind of made it appear like he was using the store's self-checkout, but then he would leave without paying. He allegedly stole from the store 7 times.
Oh my goodness.
Then sold the items for cash. Chapman, in case you didn't know, he played for Charlotte, Washington, Miami, and Phoenix, all of these throughout his career. But they always say sometimes it's an issue with you mentally if you're shoplifting, not necessarily if you've got money or not.
Right.
So hopefully they can get some of that stuff back.
That's
especially 'cause it's
crazy
so
that
popular.
they didn't catch him even the second time.
Yeah.
7 times?
Because you know that the self-checkout, you're kind of on your own out there. So
yes, that's true.
So probably weren't watching too closely. But it's going to be a pretty nice day. A little
Yes.
rain yesterday, but
It
we're
really
drying
is.
out.
Yeah, absolutely. We have this cold front that's going to bring in some changes. We, of course, had some showers and some thunderstorms late last night into the early morning hours this morning as expected. Now things are starting to clear back out again. Just a few spotty showers possible this morning. And if we take a look at some of the rain that we did have last night, this is a radar estimate. Most of the heavy rain was in our northern viewing area. That was where the severe thunderstorm watch was in effect. Now this is Lafayette, Tippecanoe County. This is an estimate over 2 inches of rain. And here, this is Clinton County, over 2 inches of rain just north of Frankfort and Michigan Town. And also in Tipton County, over 1.5 inches of rain estimated there as well. Now, as far as severe weather goes, we actually had a couple of severe thunderstorm warnings that did go into effect. The good news is we really stayed clear of all the severe weather. And actually, most of it was in extreme northern Indiana. We did have one storm report out of Benton County, and actually it was still below severe status in Earl Park. That was a hail report, and it was under 1 inch in size. So we did luck out in that matter, but we did have the heavy rainfall, even some gusty winds. Now temperatures are actually still pretty mild this morning with winds out of the west-southwest at 10 miles per hour, but we're going to see that wind starting to shift a little bit later on this morning, and that will allow some changes. It's still mild all across central Indiana right now at 68 degrees in Greensburg, 67 in Marion, 66 in Kokomo, 63 now in Lafayette. We're starting to see these temperatures fall from northwest to the southeast. So we will be trending a cooler day today. It will be breezy as well. Tomorrow is the first day of fall, and it will feel like it. And we also are going to be tracking a warming trend as we head into the next several days by the end of the work week. In the meantime, it will be a breezy day today. Yesterday it was breezy, but the winds were out of the southwest. Today out of the northwest from 10 to 20 miles per hour. We could see a gust or two around 30 miles per hour today, and that will bring in that cooler, drier air today. So a gradual clearing of the skies. We'll see temperatures around 68 degrees during the 12 noon hour, high of only 71. So really not going to see much budge in the temperature at all today. Temperature right now at 66 in Peru, 67 in Lafayette, 72 in Nashville, 69 in Richmond, and 73 the high in North Vernon today. The Colts taking on the Jacksonville Jaguars. It is down in Florida, and we will see temperatures in the mid 80s for that game. Heat indices will make it feel like it's in the upper 80s for those players. Temperatures falling to 48 degrees early tomorrow morning, and then as we head into tomorrow afternoon, it will be a bit cooler as that cooler air continues to move into the area. High of just 67 degrees. Here's a look at your 7-day forecast. High of 67 tomorrow, 72 on the first full day of fall, and then we'll see that warming trend move in for the work week as temperatures climb back into the upper 70s. Naomi?
Kelly, thank you. Well, high tech now becoming fashionable, from handbags that display tweets to bracelets that charge your phone, even bangles that light up when you get a phone call. Allison Cossack shows us the fashionable accessories that are tuned in to technology.
Fashion Week is no longer just about the fashion. Can you make the bag say hello to me? My name's Allison.
Yeah. Oh, it's such a turkey loves Allison.
The idea? Take wearable technology from geek to chic.
We have an app on the phone that's currently connected with this, and you can choose any pattern you want.
This is the notification bracelet, so you can set it that certain contacts, it'll vibrate a little bit when it's on your wrist if certain people are calling, so you know if it's your mom or your husband or the babysitter. And this one is the charger.
There is a USB connector right here, which you could do your charging. We designed it to be a communication accessory, so in other words, your emails, SMSs, and your social feeds.
2 miles from the runway, other designers are showing off what they've got. Bags, bracelets, even connected rings.
Actually customize which notifications you want to come through. If you want, Facebook on there or Uber, you can turn those off or on. And then if you have the ring.
So if I only want my boss to contact me when I'm out for a drink in the middle of the workday, I can just do that,
exactly.
Right? Oh, it's vibrating. 19 million wearable tech pieces will be shipped this year. In 4 years, that's expected to surge to nearly 112 million and become a $20 billion industry.
Our customer seamlessly transitions between fashion and technology. 1 minute.
We just started dreaming of things that we thought that she would need, right, incorporate in her life. Some of the things we found always is they're always running out of charge. And so that kind of was like, hey, could we incorporate that into a bracelet?
Okay. We're ready. Let's go.
But some say this market is young.
I would say it's version 1.0 in terms of the development of design, but it's a massive step forward compared to the very clunky technological developments we've had from the past.
But does it still have a ways to go?
I believe so, personally. They're still, how do I put this politely? You can still very much see that they're a piece of technology.
Another hurdle, will people wear it? This is a solar-powered dress that will actually charge your phone.
I would stand out in it. And get the right shoes to go with it, and I'd just be ready to go.
Would you wear it? No. Why wouldn't you wear it? It would charge your phone.
So will my charger.
Allison Cossack, CNN, New York.
Looks like some cool stuff there if you'd actually wear something like that. All right, now here's Rich Nye with a look at what's next in sports.
The late Dan Weldon is remembered each fall in a special go-kart race in Newcastle, coming up today. And now his memory lives on with his son on the track. How old is this little driver leading the field?
Now, Eyewitness Sports.
Good morning, I'm Rich Nye. Several IndyCar drivers are racing go-karts today in memory of the late Dan Weldon. The RoboPong 200 starts at 1 o'clock at Newcastle Motorsports Park. This is Dan's 5-year-old son, Sebastian, now old enough to get behind the wheel himself. And on Saturday, Sebastian led the field to the green flag for the Dan Weldon Challenge Pro-Am race. IndyCar drivers like Tony Kanaan and Marco Andretti raced in the event, but the big star, that little guy, Sebastian Weldon.
Sebastian's been in a kart for about a year now, but it's really cool to see him out here with these guys and, you know, a lot of the guys that Dan raced with, and just to be able to pace the field like that in an event like this is really something special. We handled it well, and if any indication of kind of the path that he's on, I think he's starting out pretty good.
All of us really love this event, you know, the RoboPong and the Pro-Am, just, you know, as a way to remember Dan, and, you know, Dan loved karting, so, you know, to see Sebastian, you know, pacing the field. I sat by him in the autograph session, he was signing autographs. It's cool to see, and you know, he's just like his dad.
I'm not sure I could write my name when I was 5 years old. Well, this is the year 4 for Coach Kevin Wilson, when the Indiana Hoosiers are expected to reach a bowl game. And the biggest win for IU since Wilson arrived gives some real credibility to those hopes. The Hoosiers at 18th ranked Missouri Saturday and scoring first with Tevin Coleman. Coleman left the game woozy in the first half, but he would return in the second half. He finished with 132 yards rushing and also 57 yards receiving. Game tied at halftime at 17. Late in the third quarter now, Nate Sudfeld play action down the middle to freshman Jayshun Harris. 33-yard touchdown, and the Hoosiers back in front. IU trails in the final minute until D'Angelo Roberts leaps in with 22 seconds to go, and the Hoosiers win 31-27. Indiana beats a ranked team on the road for the first time in 10 years. And Purdue wrapped up non-conference play against FCS program Southern Illinois. That's a step down from major college football. The Boilermakers dominated in the first half, as they should. Danny Antling opens the scoring 10-yard touchdown pass to D'Angelo Yancey, and then Antling finds Danny Anthrop down the middle. The Lafayette native caught 5 passes, 106 yards, 44 on that touchdown. Purdue led 25-0 and then coasted in the second half on the way to a 35-13 win. And of course today it's the Colts and the Jaguars in Jacksonville. Jason Spells and Bob Kravitz have more on that later this morning, and complete coverage after the game tonight on Eyewitness News at 6 o'clock and on the 13 Sports Jam.
Okay, Rich, thank you. It was a long night for Ball State in Northwestern Ohio. After the game started, severe weather sirens sounded. Everyone was asked to clear the field. Teams did come back out after about an hour and a half of heavy rain, but then lightning started. Everyone, as you can see, heading back to the locker rooms. In all, there were more than 2.5 hours of interruption, but on the field, a tough loss for Ball State. The game ended early this morning with Toledo beating BSU 34-23.
1, 2, 3, 4!
The Wounded Warriors amputee softball team, that's them. They travel across the country playing in tournaments. The team played this weekend in a tournament at Indianapolis Sports Park on the south side. Every player is a military veteran who lost an arm or a leg serving the U.S. They're actually pretty good. The players come from all over America. Proceeds from that tourney benefit the Wounded Warrior Project. Well, the Colts are back in action tonight, taking on the Jaguars. Coming up, we preview the matchup with Jason Spells and Bob Kravitz in Jacksonville.